Let's talk some Milwaukee Brewers. This is a series against the Arizona Diamondbacks where the Brewers ended up winning just one of the two. So their momentum cooling off a little bit in the desert. So many desert puns. I absolutely love it. You can never get enough of the desert puns. On Monday night, after you found out that Evan Longoria is a Diamondback now, you saw that the Diamondbacks beat the Brewers 3-0. On Tuesday night, a 7-1 victory. Willie homered, Tellez homered, scoreless for a good chunk of the game. Corbin Burns ending up in that one going 8 innings, giving up 3 hits and striking out 8. After 89 pitches, still pulled. That's something that we can talk about here for sure. And then the Diamondbacks on Wednesday winning 7-3. This becomes the first game where the Brewers have lost after scoring runs. Tim Shea is joining us. As he has, he's wearing a Sesame Street shirt. I'll tell you, you wore that shirt not too long ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you wore that shirt not too long ago.
Okay.
And then I DoorDashed like the following day, and there was a young girl that answered the door. Yeah, and I said, "Hey, my friend has that shirt," and she looks at me and goes, just shut the door right in my face, like she did not care.
Oh, poor you.
Well, first of all, I addressed it earlier, but let's talk about it. Tim Shea, the big announcement: you are back into the workforce.
Finally.
Do you want to describe your position?
Well, I really don't know how to describe it other than I'll be working at CBS 58.
We like them.
Yep. I'll still be able to do the podcast. So don't worry about that. Oh, I have my fork here. I'm going to upgrade my fork.
Well, I mean, so your hours are messed.
Yeah, my hours are a little rough. Working in the morning, early in the morning, 2 a.m., 2 to 10. Working in the morning show. Working in the newsroom, working on the
2 a.m. to 10.
2 a.m. to 10 a.m., yes.
So the big question for me regarding your life and really your involvement in the show, let's just talk about you. That's what people are wondering about, is when does the sleeping happen? If you're working a 2 to 10 shift.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out.
The news is that Tim has a job. People are wondering what's the news. Tim has a job.
If Tim you haven't seen on Twitter.
Tim has a job. It's a overnight, essentially, news job. 2 to 10 in the morning at CBS 58. He's hearing the scanners. He's sending people there. He's like the brain of the newsroom. Okay.
Pretty much.
It is a big time job that they apparently let anybody do.
Hey
come on now. So that's the news. When are you going to sleep?
That's the big question. I don't know.
I would feel like, and even though I've worked mornings and I wake up and then go to I wake up and then go do a show. Okay, that used to be my life. I think a job like this, especially when sports are, you're going to want to be like, sports are going to be your morning, I would almost think.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you sleep like a noon to 6 sort of deal.
Pretty much. That's what I'm thinking. Like noon or 1 to 6 or 7. For now, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might split it up. I might come home. But people have told me, you might not want to do that. So,
but to be clear, you're still a part of the family.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Don't worry. If you ever want to record something at like 3 o'clock in the morning, if I'm, available, which I might be sometimes, you can get up.
All right. The big Tim Shea news. Congratulations again to Tim Shea.
Thank you.
Back in the workforce. Well done. Any thoughts on the Brewers? And then I'm going to bring in Brett and Toast. I'll just bring him in now. And congratulations to Brett. Speaking of news, Brett on the news last week.
Yeah, you caught that, huh?
Oh, sure, Brett. What, your wife went in labor like 2 weeks prior to her due date, or was it more than that?
3 weeks, yeah. Never
and
missed
it was opening day
in my life. And decided to happen the morning of, so.
Wow.
Never going to let my son hear the end of that. Fucker.
And now you're going to bring him to every opening day to start a new tradition.
Oh yeah, definitely. So.
Well, let's talk a little Brewers here.
Congrats, Tim, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to hear you're not living.
What's wrong with one more?
Glad you're here to hear you're not leaving the Bart Winkler show, though.
No.
Priorities.
Yep.
Zach wants to know if I applied for the same job by chance. No comment.
Did I beat you out?
No, Tim did use me as a reference, and I'm glad that you got it because I actually thought I oversold you. They were like, what do you like about Tim? And I said all the things that I like that I think would qualify him for the job. Like he's reliable. He's got a good media brain. He's trustworthy. He knows Milwaukee. I said all these things. And then they go, anything else? I go, oh, yeah, he's funny. And I think he's a friend. It got weird. So I'm glad that didn't sink you. I'll tell you one thing right off the bat, Brett, that I want to talk about a little bit is I don't want to keep having to use the phrase this Brewers offense. And so I'm glad that they scored a few runs at least today because it seems like, they were scoring when they were scoring and they weren't when they weren't. I'd like this year to not be the guys so contingent on what the other guys do. It seems like they're either all good at the same time or all bad. I'm not, upset that they lost 2 or 3 in Arizona. We'll survive. We'll live. But they got shut out a few times, and I'm glad they at least put up some runs.
Yeah, I mean, Yelich is striking out like 40% of the time.
Well, he stinks.
It's a problem. And I think Weimer's coming back to life a little bit. But Mitchell and Terang, they look legit, and I don't think they're going anywhere.
I took some screenshots. Now, Yelich eventually was that a 2 RBI sort of single he had at one point?
To left field. Anything he hits to the left side of second base, I don't take legit. Like, he can't pull the ball to the right side of the field. It's literally impossible for him.
Here's some of the things because Yelich had an opportunity because the bases were loaded there, but he had an opportunity where there were a couple of guys on earlier. I'm just trying to refresh my memory. But he was like the last guy up in an inning, and it always seems to be that way. Here's where some of the comments I screenshotted right away from Twitter. For fuck's sakes, Yelich is either too conservative or too aggressive when he's up at the plate. He didn't swing once. Again, another K for Yelly. Just pathetic that Yelich didn't get pinch hit for there. Yelich should just retire. I'm begging at this point to fucking bench bitch-ass Yelich. Swing the fucking bat. Look, if we were paying Christian Yelich per swing, that contract wouldn't look too bad at all. These are all, I just immediately typed in the name Yelich and took some screenshots on Twitter. Yelich to AA now. Could the Brewers get a bag of peanuts for Yelich? Well, a couple more here. Yelich, Jesus, my dude. Yelich forgot how to swing the bat so bad he just stopped swinging the bat and he struck out looking. So it seems like this catapults and then he does something good and we all back off a little bit. But, Yelich is right now an issue. Would you guys agree?
100%.
So then what's the solution?
There's no solution. You just got to keep playing him, unfortunately. With that
But if you're going to send him up there, like if I watch Yelich go up there and swing or not swing, then when he comes back to the dugout, I'm just like, Christian, how about you just don't, and I'm not a baseball hitting coach, so maybe I'm an idiot. I'd probably be like, how about you just swing and just you're going to swing every time until they start throwing him away. If it's even just swing because you fucking stink. Is that stupid? Maybe not, Brett.
I mean, he gets on. The issue is he gets on base, but he just strikes out too much now. I know people don't think Counsell will do it, but let's give him Memorial Day, and I think you'll see him drop in the order. If Mitchell and Terang can keep this up, I don't think Counsell is going to keep trotting him out in the leadoff spot if he's striking out like this and hitting 230.
Do you think they'll just say, all right, we're done, and just trade him and say, we'll eat the contract?
But you probably got to give up a prospect to do it, and I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, we had the conversation with Paul and Grant about if Yelich at some point becomes the guy blocking other guys from coming up, Well, one of those guys that you would block, like let's say you want Frelick to play. Well, if you're going to trade Yelich, you're going to have to include like a Frelick with him because no one's going to just take that contract. This is, I don't know. I want to say like I'm holding out hope or whatever, but the way that he just doesn't even seem interested in swinging pitches that are right down the middle. He was so automatic when he was good that I argued the Cardinals should be walking him intentionally, especially the Cardinals. Like it was the beginning of 2019. He was hitting everything. It's just crazy to see a guy drop off that much. And like, I guess to bring up Rodgers, I think Rodgers stunk last year, but I thought you still saw signs of good Rodgers. I'm not seeing any signs of good Yelly unless I'm not looking hard enough.
No. Yeah. I'm not overreacting. I mean, it's only been 12 games. We're off to a great start. I still think we're in that high 80s win range and right with the Cardinals. I'm not proclaiming us World Series contender yet by any means. But we need Woody back. I mean, we all were sick of seeing Jason Alexander and Chichi Gonzalez last year. And I think Jansen Junk's a little bit better, but we can't keep trotting out Jansen Junk. And I think Lauer's due for some regression this year. So our starting pitching depth is tested already. And now we're going to San Diego. So,
yeah, I'm going to try really hard not to make a Junk pun with how he threw today. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned, 5 total runs, couple of Ks. It looks like on Thursday, the Brewers are going to have they're still on the road, so they're going to play in San Diego at Petco. That looks like it could be a bullpen day because they've moved some guys back. Freddie on Friday, Eric on Saturday, Eric Lauer were on a first name, and my good buddy Wade on Sunday. So might be in for a bullpen day coming up.
Yeah, I'm guessing Bryce Wilson tomorrow, I would think.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I mean, today I watched, but I'm not going to try to break down Monday or Tuesday. I'm so sorry I have sinned. Monday I was just exhausted. What did I do? Oh, I hosted Gelb Monday. I was exhausted. And then Tuesday, I got home from my soccer game in Madison. They had a 2-0 lead with 15 minutes to go against a team from a lower level, blew the lead, lost 3-2. They would have played MLS's Chicago Fire next week in the U.S. Open Cup tournament. They are not. So, but I did see, are we like the comment that Grant had before he jumped on his show was if you bitch about Burns being pulled after 8 innings, I swear to God.
No, I'm not going to.
Well, what's it? I just want to.
I mean,
you're not going to bitch about the
you're up
no hitter. I'm not bitching about Tuesday.
Right. You're up a lot.
Yeah.
You don't need to go out there and chance a freak injury or something.
That, and it's game 11 of the season, and your second best starter just went down with some shoulder soreness. Like, it's not the time to be pushing, guys.
Tom says, read us the box score and pretend you watched. Okay, let me do that for Mondays because I didn't see a pitch.
Monday's game, you missed nothing. We lost.
Well, let me do it. I didn't see a pitch on Monday,
Okay.
so I can do it there. Oh boy, geez, the Brewers they got blanked against the Diamondbacks. Not a good one. Not a fun game either. Brewers really banged up at the plate. They struck out 15 times in this one. Weimer striking out 3. Yelich striking out 3 times. I mean, what is his deal? Everybody's striking out at least once. Couple of hits. The Brewers did get some knocks from Mitchell Contreras. We got Contreras, Joe, and Bryce Terang. Wade Miley, decent quality start. 5 innings, 3 earned. Did strike out 3. Bryce Wilson with 3 Ks. I really like the way he's pitching. He's pitching really well. And then Javi Guerra got in and gave up a couple of hits. The Brewers fell to 7-3 on the season with that game. In this game, as you guys know, the Brewers had about it was the Diamondbacks had a 60% chance to win until they scored a bunch of runs. Milwaukee issuing 3 walks, and there was 12,000 people at the game. The over-under was 9. It did not hit. So that was Monday's game. Does it sound like I watched it?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. But then aren't you supposed to read off the cigar dinner schedule after that?
Coming up, we're going to Westby. We got a cigar dinner just outside Westby at Norskadalian. Make sure you meet us there, 5:30 to 6:30. I'll show up right at 5:31, hang out by my truck for 40 minutes. Not sure. You're not going to be sure if you can approach me or not. Finally, I'll take a few Q&As and hightail it the fuck out of there because I got some restaurant owner in Viroqua that knows me and sponsors my show. He's going to give me a free bottle of wine, and we're just going to get ripped at the bar. So come and see me. Pay $300. I'll give you a cigar and a 105.7 FM The Fan coaster. Pretty good. Great. All right, Brett. Congrats on the kid.
Thanks, fellas.
Sorry about opening day.
That's right. See ya.
See ya. Hey, Alex. Well, what's up, Tim?
Well, I think. Well, what time is it? Yeah.
You got to go?
Yeah, I have to go start getting ready. I'm going to AEW tonight. I can't believe you're not.
This is the first AEW in Milwaukee I'm not going to go to.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen it all.
Okay, well, something's good. Something good's going to happen tonight. I can feel it.
No, I don't think so.
Bart, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Alex?
I just want to say happy belated to Tim. Thanks for the Facebook ad. Congrats on your job, Tim.
Wow.
I don't mean to derail the show, but speaking of
No, you did a good thing. You did a good thing.
Speaking of retirement, though, I know this is a Brewers post game, but that Giannis article today, you guys see that?
Yeah, so Lori Nicco wrote a piece about Giannis, and he said he contemplated retiring after 2020. I haven't read it yet. Did you read it?
Yeah, there's some interesting quotes in there. It's like a mental health thing, and I think Giannis did a good thing of people don't like to talk about that, and I think Giannis was very open. Like I said, I'm not trying to derail. This can be a whole different segment, but
no, I mean, I can't break. I'm not breaking down 7-3 Brewers for 50 minutes.
It's just interesting. I think the whole like full circle, it was just Giannis saying like being in the spotlight, like it's a tough thing.
Well, his dad had just passed away.
Right.
They're in the bubble. That sucked.
They would have won it if it wasn't in the bubble.
Yes, I agree 100% on that.
Mickey Mouse ring doesn't count.
I don't count it whatsoever.
I don't either.
And so let me pull up the article because I want everybody to know that I subscribed to the Journal. Kurt had a deal where it was like 6 months for $1.
And I can send you some quotes, Bart. I mean, you don't have to read the full article, but there's.
That's another thing that we do. Okay, anyway, it's hard. It's not easy. In 2020, I was ready to walk away from the game. I had that conversation, yes, with the front office. There was the pandemic, the resumption of play, the public mandates, the empty arenas, the protests they had, global crisis, mental health, and then he walked away. So it didn't go too much more into that, just like the exhausting work. Again, his father passed away. So, yeah, and I don't know if he would have retired, if he would have ended up coming back. We can take that, like, what if through history. But, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's good that he's sharing this. And now he's got this foundation where, like, that's mental health. I don't want to be a jerk again, but.
When he reached out to Kevin Love.
Is not being mental health.
He reached out to Kevin Love, and Kevin Love was, like, taken back by it.
Oh, really? I got to read this whole article and do it justice.
Yeah. So apparently he reached out to Kevin Love. Kevin Love like cried to him, being like, "Holy shit! Like this is amazing. Like most guys don't talk about this, especially as like a professional athlete. Like it's very interesting." But I don't know. This is interesting.
Well, I'll read it and give it its proper love and justice.
Sweet. Love you guys. That's all I had for you.
All right. Love you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Tim, are you out too, or do you want to say hi to Cone Roller?
Yeah, I'm going to leave. I'll say hi real quick.
All right. He's a big advocate of mental health, so much so that he can't show his face.
What's up, boys? Tim, congrats on the job, and shout out to Brett and Tosa on the baby boy. Congrats to him.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Absolutely, Tim.
Are we doing over-under on Tim length of employment at this new place?
Hey.
I think Tim is going to be a career man here. I have a theory he's going to be kind of the next Nightcrawler.
This may be Tim's last job. Like you're in your forever job.
This could be.
You're going to be sending young Milwaukee reporters out to fires when you're like 63, and then there's going to be like a real big like chaotic event, and you're going to be, I'm 2 weeks away from retirement. And then they're going to have to send you on the scene because there's not enough reporters. And then like an alien's going to shoot you in the face and you're going to die. Just like my cop guy on Jessica Jones. Spoiler alert.
On that note, I got to go get ready, but I'm not leaving the podcast. A lot of people ask me that, so I'm not leaving. I'll still come on with you.
Well, good.
And we got the playoff run, too.
Can I tell you something about that real quick?
Yeah.
Playoff post games is my big thing for the Bucks. I'm doing Sunday. I'm doing Wednesday. Saturday, I got to be out in Madison again.
Do it live from Madison.
I might have to do it in my car.
Bart, my buddy lives right next to the Madison Forward Stadium.
He does?
He was grilling out last night. I asked him if he could hear the PA announcing. He said no. So you might need to speak up a little more.
Yeah, they were mad at me. The volume wasn't high enough.
Well,
Turn
good
it
to know.
up, Bart. Turn it up. Loud
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Goodbye,
right.
gentlemen. You two have fun. Cone, always good to see you.
You too, Tim.
Bart,
Congrats again.
we'll talk Sunday.
Yeah, live on Sunday.
I think I might have to go down to the forum for this one. So.
You've been talking. Maybe I'll join you.
Bring
Yeah.
the fork.
Oh, I'll talk to my guy. Maybe we'll do it over the ledge, on top of the one of the restaurants there.
Are you fucking with me, or can we?
No,
do that?
no, I'm serious. I'll talk to him. I'll get back.
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Tim Shea, back in the world of work. Cone, what's up, buddy?
Speaking of the ledge, is the ledge an unforgotten great nickname that you gave yourself?
I did give myself the name The Ledge. I think Chuck said there was a guy who called himself The Ledge, right?
I think so.
And then I said, I want to be called The Ledge. And Chuck said no. But to this day, KJ still calls me Ledge, and I appreciate that.
Well, KJ is like as OG as they come in terms
He
of
is.
and participators.
I'd like to shout out KJ. He met me at the station the other day and gave him and his wife put together like a basket for Easter presents for my son.
Wow.
I know. Very nice gesture. Got a monster truck. It was very nice. Some Paw Patrol chalk.
Whoa. Fancy.
Yeah. So, Cone, you went to the game. I need the full breakdown of Chase Field.
Yeah. Okay. So Chase Field it's hard to put in words like compared to Miller Park. It is very, very similar.
Because I've always felt like they were built around the same time and they're like cousins of each other. And even when you look at it on TV, they each have a Bernie slide in the pool, but it's the same sort of concept, is it not?
Yeah, it's very similar. Like, I think the roof design in Chase Field's a little better because when it's open, it just seems, way more like fresh air coming in, way more like views of the sky and everything. It just seems like it's more open. I think they do a little better job with the back panels compared to what Miller Park has. So, but when I sat all around the stadium, just kind of hopping around, and
Smart.
When I was sitting in the left field bleachers, I almost had to remind myself I wasn't at Miller Park. Like this, it's weird to say, but like the sight lines are identical. You look up, you see that big green metal roof. So very similar ballpark. A couple cons I would have for Chase Field is the center field wall is just ugly as hell. They got to put like a logo on it or some fake ivy or something, because it is just a big wall of, I think it's either green or black, but just not much flair there. 50-50 raffle drawing not being until the middle of the 8th.
Don't you feel like that's borderline criminal?
It should be. Luckily, they post the winning number the day after. I don't know if all teams do that, but they do it. So, I mean, I guess if you're
maybe that's better than what the Brewers do, because if you don't claim it, you get an inning to claim it. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Yeah, they give you 30 days to claim it here.
What?
Yeah.
Well, then that's better, I guess.
Yeah, but a downside of that is when you buy the 50-50 raffle tickets, they like print them out on a receipt. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I like having that old like carnival style tickets that have the numbers. So little con there. Beer, same prices pretty much all around. Good peanuts, definitely good peanuts. There's just nothing better than sitting at a ball. This is my first game in about a year going to, and immediately you walk in, you get your peanuts, you get your beer, you go sit down, you're just noshing on some peanuts, throwing the shell, eat, and it just makes you love baseball. I think a lot of people's first love is baseball, and anytime you get out to the park, it's fun to be at an away game. All the fans are high-fiving each other. I was wearing a Keston Hira jersey. We were all, sulking over Keston still being in AAA when Yelich is up here, when Voit is up here. So
I also, you did tweet about it. I pulled up the tweet. You had a couple more things that you commented on. You said no escalators?
Okay, so that was, I didn't see, like, the overall, the footprint of the stadium is a lot smaller, I would say, than Miller Park. Like, the atriums are just a little not as wide. So you kind of just walk out of the park. You're in a tiny little atrium, and then the doors are right there. I feel in Miller Park, you just have tons and tons of space kind of in the concourse areas. There are escalators. I did find those, but I was up in the 300, so I took the stairs.
Yeah, if you're like noshing on some peanuts, you might miss the escalators.
I was missing them, and then some nice flight attendant came. Hey, the escalators are right over here. Everyone's getting in line. Still missed it.
You said they run out onto the field to Where the Streets Have No Name by U2.
Yeah, Badger football, that song is always amazing. They have,
that's my, when I was doing music radio, every Friday at the end of my shift, I had like a mock song that was like, Fridays, it was about Friday. And then I played it right into the Where the Streets Have No Name. It was always my sign off.
So good. So good.
What a jam.
Although, Badger football, they like incorporate some of like Matt LePay's big calls or Barry Alvarez quotes that like get you chills on the back of your neck. They don't do much with Arizona. I thought they could do like some cool World Series calls back in 2001 or some big moments, but
would you say that, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but would you say that U2 is the Eli Manning of bands? That the longer they're around, the shittier they got, but the successes they had just cannot be topped?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge, I don't listen to a bunch of U2.
But the main ones are the main ones.
Right. And that's like the 2007 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Where the Streets Have No Name, and the other one I like.
Beautiful Day.
No. Was that the one where he was in the van?
I don't know.
The streets. Cole, let me ask you one more question about Arizona. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. I don't want to feel like I'm holding you, but
thing about Chase Field.
Yeah.
I did not buy Bud Light.
Did you see that video today?
Of which one?
A guy went to stock the shelves and the Bud Light wasn't sold.
Yeah. And I'm hearing it all around, all over the place. A bunch of bar owners are refusing it. And their sales are down 30, 50% in the last 10 days. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's also crazy that like all of that kind of beer is owned by the same two companies and no one's really protesting anything.
Yeah. And I also think it's like, if we could do this with bigger issues, really boycott with our wallets, maybe some change would actually happen rather than just getting upset about who's on the front of a Bud Light can. But,
right.
It's the people's right to buy what they want.
It's the people's right to say, I'm never going to buy something, buy that thing, and then take video of that pouring down the drain. That's capitalism.
Amen.
You're welcome to do that. If there was, let's say, because you were just at the Brewer game, but you live in Arizona. If I took 100 baseball fans in Arizona at random, how many do you think are Diamondback fans?
Probably 30. There's so many transplants down here. Like when I meet new people, it's like 1 out of every 3 people are probably actual Arizona natives.
And I think that's kind of cool, like to live there. But for the sports, like even if you're a fan of a different team and you live in Milwaukee, at least the city gets swept up in it. In Phoenix, I got to think that it's never truly like people still scoff at it.
Yeah, from my experience so far, I would say like the Suns are probably the biggest team that like people really surround themselves with. So there's murals all over the place. I was just out last weekend with a bunch of Suns fans. They were saying the only way we're winning a title is a Giannis Antetokounmpo injury.
That is pathetic. Very pathetic. A lot of comments from Bodie for you, Cone.
Okay, fire away.
He says,
Bodie,
is anyone ready to ask why Cone has the best audio on this podcast? You do?
I'm just talking into my phone.
Wow. I bought a mic for $150.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Bodie says 30 days to claim victory. Sounds like a true Arizona election.
Amen.
Bodie also says, I'll never forget going to a game with Cone in 2020, grabbing peanuts right away to circumvent the draconian mask rules.
Yeah, that's true. I remember those. That was so like just going. I mean, I get it was the times, but just looking back at some of those things, it's like hilarious that we complied.
I did always think it was weird that restaurants, I mean, you took it off to eat. Oh, I'm eating.
Right. Yeah.
Bodie also says the real issue is Bud Light tastes terrible.
Exactly. And that's my main point is who the hell is buying Bud Light anyway? That's crap.
Well, there are some people whose world has been shattered this last week because Bud Light was like their captain, was their Diet Mountain Dew. Like if Diet Mountain Dew came out and said like, we are the official sponsor of the Steve Zabin show, I might go buy a pistol and pop some 20 ounces in my backyard.
He could do a pretty good like logo on a soda can too, something with his face. I think it'd be pretty funny. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's got this new Mountain Dew here. Any other thoughts on the Brewers, Cone?
Would have liked to see Corbin go 9 yesterday, but not the biggest deal. But good win last night. I was in the bathroom during the Willie Adames home run, but saw the rest of the action that inning. So nice to see him score some runs.
Yeah, Willie actually homered when they needed it for once. That was refreshing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that take. He's kind of got some empty numbers.
I do have and I feel bad about it, but I really think if you broke it down, Willie, like whoever pays Willie will be overpaying tremendously.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I would like to see Willie stay here just because I think he is kind of the leader of the team. Because, I mean, I don't know who else is. Corbin's complaining about losing out on money. Woody, I could see as being a leader. I mean, Yelich doesn't have a leadership bone in his body, as we've all said, and no confidence either in Christian Yelich. You know, you hear all these athletes always talking like, yeah, I just need to get it going. I'm as long as I'm healthy, I always got a chance. You know, that was the main Braun line. But then you got Yelich doing these off-season interviews, and he's just like, yeah, I've sucked the last 2 seasons, but you know, that's baseball. What are you going to do? It's like, dude, have a little more confidence in yourself. Come on.
Yeah. Some daily affirmations never hurt anybody.
No. And I even wished him good luck this year in a grocery store when I saw him.
That's right. People forget you saw him at spring training and the whereabouts of. Cone, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, Bart. Last rating I'll give for Chase Field is it is no Miller Park, but it also, I think we should be reminded that Miller Park is not the greatest ballpark either.
Like if Miller Park disappeared and then the next day Chase Field appeared, would it be that big of a deal?
The outside it's more of a rectangle. But the inside, I mean, honestly, not really. They're very similar.
I see. Cone, excellent breakdown. We have boots on the ground in Phoenix. Thank you so much, sir.
Yep, hoping for a Bucks Suns finals, and we'll do some reporting down here.
That is excellent. Cone Roller, ladies and gentlemen, with the best audio in the podcast. Cone Roller. We are streaming live on YouTube, and if you ever want to go back and look on YouTube, you can, thanks to our guy Dan Shaney, who's now a part of the podcast. 2542. Dan's an insurance man. Dan is a rogue. He's rogue like us. He's rogue. He doesn't have any overlords over him. It's Dan, the man. And so when you need insurance help, Dan's your guy because he'll find you the best rates. Home, auto, business. Check this out. Dan jumped on the podcast, and within 24 hours, a new person joined via this podcast. Incredible. That's, as Vince McMahon would say, that's some good shit. Spark Guy.
What's going on?
God, now that's a room in my house I need. The old oaken office.
Yeah. Is my audio okay, or am I breathing too hard today?
No, you sound good. You look good. That's, oh man. The fact that I am a 39 almost year old business owner and I don't have a room like that in my house, huge failure.
It's all background.
Oh.
I'll put the piano up later.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to switch. I'm going to go home.
So, did you guys talk Roger? I wasn't used to the time. I wasn't paying attention today, and I saw you were
Oh,
on.
yeah, just a little post game, just a little whoopsie-doo.
Yeah, I get it now. But did you guys talk Rogers yet? Like, I saw there's all the stuff today now where the it sounds like Woody Johnson got cold feet. That's like the narrative now.
So Charles Robinson of Yahoo.
He charges $50 to be on the show, right?
Yes, I do not trust Charles Robinson. I don't. As far as reporters go, without that nugget. But he was on Wilde and Tausch, and I will shout them out. I think, and they have acknowledged that maybe they don't cover the other sports as well as other shows. But in football season, you want to know what's going on? I'm going to compliment someone and say Wilde and Tausch at least will tell you what's going on. So I feel like that's a nice thing for me to say.
I mean, he's kind of a beta, but we can talk.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
So your boy Spark Guy Rogers, who endorsed Robert Kennedy for president today on Instagram.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. Remember, this is a guy who said, "I don't get into politics." Who said, "CNN and Fox News, they all want to book me. I don't get into that shit."
Oh man, RFK Jr. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's going to be interesting. He went right in too. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes on that if Steve Bannon's up to it ever, but Rogers, he's not even letting the playing field kind of get level out, see what's going to happen. He's Favre-like, just kind of throwing it into double coverage with his political endorsements right away. Guy, 2 days later, he's endorsing them.
I did see what you're referencing in that the Packers and Jets. So I've just seen through tweets and whatever, but allegedly they were pretty close to a deal. And then Rodgers willingly said, I was 90% retiring. And so the Jets want more assurances that he's not going to like get up and bail on them. And this is the Rodgers experience. And I guess to this, I'll say, because I have retired from talking about Rodgers as a personality, I can say things he's done, like his endorsement, but I've retired from judging him or trying to psychoanalyze him. But what I will tell you is everyone that is clowning Rodgers for saying, or like, whoa, Packers, it's going to be real awkward when he shows up to camp as a $60 million backup. That will never happen. And if it does, who's that going to be embarrassing for? One person. And it's not the front office. It's number 12. So can he handle that? Because if he can handle it, good on him. But if he comes here, he's at minimum going to be in a competition for the job, and at most he's going to be the backup.
See, I would have agreed with that a couple of years ago, but he did come to that first because like what are the most contentious times? It was like after 20 and then starting 21, and that was the first time we went through this.
I mean, maybe he shows up in May.
Yeah. I mean, they got to run the risk he shows up though, because then they can't sit him. They can't sit him during OTAs and stuff. I don't know. He's going to be gone, but still, I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in New York too, though. Does he bring the future president of the United States, RFK Jr., to the Jets facility that's owned by Pharma King Woody Johnson? Like, how's that going to work out?
And maybe that's the holdup. Maybe Rodgers doesn't want to play for
What if
Woody.
they all agree? What if they all talk it out, come to some conclusions, and maybe all see a better light in each other? What do you think that's going to happen between those?
I think that this is annoying.
So what do we? Who do we want for the Bucks? Do we even care? Does it matter?
Well, okay. When I post this, if you're watching on YouTube, you got the whole night to watch it. But if you're on the podcast, I'm not going to do any tag or anything about who plays in the Eastern Conference matchup. So what you're going to see is tonight it's Bulls and Raptors. Marcus says he wants the Bulls to win so the Bucks have less travel and don't have to go through customs. I mean,
like
any reason possible. I would prefer the Bulls aren't here just because the Chicago fans. Although that's more for our economy. You
Right?
get more people traveling here for our economy. Yeah.
I want that. Yeah, make more money off of them.
It doesn't matter. I have a podcast coming with Ty Windish of Eurostep podcast, and that'll be the next episode. That'll be Friday morning's episode. And one thing that we talked about very quickly was we can debate the Heat or the Bulls or the Raptors for what? For what? If they get one game off of us, if they get two, then the Bucks are not as good as we thought. This should be about as clean as a series as you've ever seen. So it doesn't matter to me. Knicks and Cavs really doesn't even matter to me. I want to watch a fun competitive series. It might be fun to see Giannis play in MSG some more, or Cleveland if it's a shorter drive. If people want to do that. Spark Guy, your face froze. You were just still. Wow.
I'm enraptured in what you're saying.
God, I thought, wow, this is sad that's the least flattering face he could have been making while it froze.
It just sometimes the analysis it washes over me and it's just like I'm hypnotized by it.
It's all about the Celtics. That's all it's about, the Celtics. So to answer your question, who would I rather play if I had to pick one? I can't. I don't even care enough to even pretend to answer that question.
I'm doing the head nod now so that I don't look like I went catatonic or something. A final question. Are you all in on the Brewers now? You had an off season, the hater thing. I got your message on Friday about your boy, Willie Contreras, or no. Yeah, he's Willie. What is he? Is he Willie? Whatever one it is, Brewers have. Are you all in now? Where are you at with the Brewers emotionally?
I'm rooting for them to do. I'm being a fan of my favorite team.
Agreed. No, but I mean the skepticism, again, we'll come back to me because that's what it's the most important thing. But I'm a Bears fan, right? I always cheer for the Bears, but I'm still super skeptical that they have some of the worst owners alive, right? So I'll watch them during the game, but then after the game, I'm they're going to do some stupid shit or something's not going to work out. They're going to be cheap. So that's where I go.
I feel I guess I trust enough in Matt Arnold he's made some good trades. He traded Hunter Renfroe for everyone's hero, Jason Junk, who was terrible on Wednesday, but I don't know that we were expecting him to be that much. But I trust Matt Arnold enough. I think that there is a window where they can over succeed. I wouldn't say that there's a 0% chance at a World Series. I'd put it somewhere between 0.2 and 1.2, which is captivating enough for me. And ultimately, I'll echo a take that I see Brett have a lot, Brett and Tosa, is that if Mark ever sells the team, then they will not be the Milwaukee Brewers. Salt Lake City now is putting together a group that wants a team very badly. Portland wants a team. Mexico City wants a team. What's the other one that wants a team? There's Memphis wants a team. The MLB, there's only so much it can expand. And if someone buys, that's the shittiest part about sports, is that you can root and be a diehard and have your Brewers cave and all that kind of stuff. But I guess I'm wearing a Badgers shirt. I know the Badgers will never leave, right? You're always going to have the University of Wisconsin, but your pro teams, they could leave just based on two rich guys making a deal. And that's shitty. So I think that Mark has a problem with saying we have room to spend at the offseason and then never doing that. He's kind of like, fool me twice, shame on me. But I don't want him to sell.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have, and then you always have, you say the upside is having ownership like the Packers, but then you could be like the Packers and have a central planning committee.
I mean, you don't know where they could move. They could move to Austin. They could move to Bismarck. They could move to Omaha, where Omaha Steaks was founded. OmahaSteaks.com with the promo code Bart.
What do they got this time of year? I mean, we just got through Easter, but we got some kind of summer, like Memorial Day grill out thing going yet?
Yeah, we actually have a great deal on burgers. Now we're in the basement. They are. Do you see this?
Wow.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest.
Bart, stop. It says you're supposed to read it exactly. It's supposed to say, you're supposed to start with, please open with your personal experience of Omaha Steaks. And then don't forget, the promo code is 6X's.
Yeah. 6X's.
Burger Perfect. You know what, though? I feel like if somebody hasn't made the leap yet to Omaha Steaks, and I know you've had at least one devoted customer on one occasion, but if nobody's made the leap, I would say the $79.99.
I know of two now. 2 people have done this.
But the $79.99 Burger Perfection Flight, right? If the price points that you've been giving earlier that are higher than that are something that you're not comfortable making, right? Because you haven't tried this before. Yeah. Try this. They got the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight. So you can have different burger types of filet mignon burgers, a ribeye burger. That's wild. Every order is backed by Omaha Steaks, unconditional, no bullshit, 100% guarantee.
Right.
Money back guarantee. So it's not just a guarantee, because a guarantee they could just hang up on you and not give you your money back. Minimum order may be required. That was mandatory to include.
Look at you.
All right. Well,
all right,
again,
Spark Guy. Good to see you, buddy.
You take care. God bless.
All right. You too. Miller Park Minute is on the road. You're all jerseyed up. Oh, yeah. Eric.
This is my Wednesday apparel.
Audio sucks. The audio's bad. It's bad. Yeah. It's very delayed. So I'll plug you and let you go.
All right. That's
okay. Miller Park Minute. Sorry, bud. Wasn't working. If you're not on the video, Miller Park Minute, you can check out his YouTube stream. That's Eric. He joined me in a car on a Wednesday where he was wearing a full Brewers jersey and hat, as if he not even like was dressed as a fan. I feel like he played center field today, the way that he looks. So good to see him living up to his fandom and rocking the name. Very good to see that. Brewers lose 2 of 3 to the Diamondbacks. We'll all live on. They play again on Thursday, another late one. Now they go to San Diego. Should be a real early test. Joe, would you call this a must-win? A must-win series for the Brewers? Gee, I don't know. I really don't. If everything, a must-win, a must-win. On Friday's show, I'll sit down with Ty Windish of the Eurostep podcast. Oh, there was one voicemail I wanted to play before I got out of here. Another Carl's Place voicemail that I would like to include on the show. I had Paul Ludke call in. He's been doing the hashtag Fire Shea for a long time, and now Tim Shea has got a real job. He'll still be with the show, but this is Paul on the Carl's Place voicemail line. Again, Carl of et.com/Bart. Golf simulator action. You can check it out at bartwinkler.com. Thanks to my guys at Sunant Interactive.
Hi, Bart. Paul from Milwaukee calling. I was listening to the podcast this morning, Wednesday's show, and just kind of odd at the very end of it, someone brought up Big Tim Shea and his news, and you seemed a little annoyed with it. So I was just wondering what that was all about. Also, I changed my hashtag to Hire Shay instead of Fire Shay, and Jesse Garcia liked it. So that was really exciting for me. Otherwise, I just wanted to agree with you about fart. Fart is, intentional farts are never funny. Unintentional farts are always funny. Fart jokes, well, the written word fart, the only time it was ever really used properly was Ron Wolf describing the Brett Reggie team as a fart in the wind.
I don't even like that.
Which they were. I would say they're the most disappointing group in sports history. How could you have Brett Favre and Reggie White on your team? You could put those in the two of the top 5 players in NFL history, and you only got one out of it. You gave another one away, didn't show up for the third. Anyway, have a good day. Loving the podcast. Everything's great. Keep it up. Keep pushing on. Thanks.
I will say to Paul's point, for as much as I crap on Rodgers for only having one Super Bowl, that Packers team does not get enough criticism for not getting the job done more than once, especially with the way that Mike Holmgren left. And I think it's going to be, if this Bucs unit only gets one, I think that they'll get a pass too, because they're coming after so many years of bad, where the Rodgers group came after success. So I think that is always going to factor. And I'm not saying that's fair, but it does factor into it. Paul then called back.
Hey, Bart, it's Paul from Milwaukee calling back. I got to follow up. That Brett Favre, Reggie White team, their failure to win another one or 3 in a row is a lot more disappointing than Aaron Rodgers not winning a second. As time goes on, for some reason that is getting in my craw, whatever you call it. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.
Okay. That was Paul. All right. Next live show will be Sunday after the Bucs. They play 4:30 game 1, and that will be against we don't know, but we'll find out on Friday, and then quick turnaround. They'll play on Sunday. That'll be at home. Wednesday's game at home with post games to follow. Saturday night, they'll be on the road. I'll have a post game. I'm going to be in Madison for a soccer game. I should be home by the time the game's done. We will see. Otherwise, who knows what I'm going to do, but planning on post games throughout the Bucs run. That's always been the goal, and hoping to do that throughout. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Buy insurance, stakes, CBD, websites, golf simulators. Listen and watch CBS 58 and subscribe to the Miller Park Minute. Have a good one.